Well, simple words, bye-bye Miss American Pie, but possibly the most iconic lyrics in American music history. The genius behind them, singer Don McLean, joined me to discuss the legacy of that classic song, which turns 50, and why he said bye-bye to the NRA in the wake of the recent Texas school shooting. He began writing American Pie in his early 20s, so I began the interview by asking whether he already knew that he had a mega hit on his hands.
I felt that I was a special songwriter. I was quite egotistical in that sense. I felt I had certain gifts, and I wanted to, I never had anybody tell me what to do on a record. I would write what I wanted, or I wouldn't sign the contract. So I was in complete control, and that album, American Pie, I had all the songs except the one that I wanted, which was the big one. And I spent 10 years really thinking about Buddy Holly before I finally came up with that first part, because I wanted a big song about America. And when I came up with that, I said, you know, I'll tie that up with the ideas that I have for this song. And then I knew I was really on my way. And I don't write songs like most other people do, and therefore I'm not nearly as successful because I don't have a formula of any sort. I do something once and then that's it. There'll never be an American Pie 2 or anything like that.
This will be a staggeringly impertinent question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. I've been trying to work out how much money you must have made from American Pie, given I assume it is playing somewhere in the world at any given moment.
Well, see, I'm an album artist, and I was just on Good Morning America, and they presented me with a plaque that surprised me that I have been certified as having sold over 50 million albums worldwide.
Wow.
People buy my albums. That's why they come to the shows. Of course, everybody knows American Pie, but if everybody that knows that song came to my shows, I'd be selling out stadiums. So you see, they know the song, but it's my fans who know the albums, and those songs like, you know, Crossroads and Empty Chairs and Babylon and Vincent and Castles in the Air and I Love You So. These songs are known to millions and millions of people. But the big boy, you know, the big tree in the forest, of course, is always American Pie.
When you wrote American Pie, obviously we started with the Buddy Holly bit, we all know that, but in many ways it was an anthem for the state of America and how you felt about it at the time. How do you feel America has changed in the last 50 years?
Well, I tried to get the craziness of America, as well as the hugeness of it, into the song, the size of it. It had to be a massive song for this massive country, full of contradictions, full of love and anger and hatred and creative genius all at once. And that was all in the back of my crazy mind. I was writing this for myself, but I must say that I think America is getting more crazy and less sane.
I wanted to talk to you about the events of last week in America in particular, because there was another horrendous mass shooting at a school, and you were due to perform at the NRA conference 2 days later, and you pulled out of that performance. Why did you pull out, and what did you think about the shooting, and what can America do about this ongoing epidemic of gun violence?
Well, I pulled out because it would be a horrendously bad taste to be there. The only reason I did the show was because I kind of like Western things, you know, Western guns, Western rifles, Indian things. I thought maybe I'd go and see some cool six guns or something. And so if they asked me to sing, all right, I'll sing. Then this thing happened, and I said, oh, I can't do this. This is... Because I'm an independent. You know, I'm always doing something that's making somebody on one side or the other scratch their head. You know, I have my conservative friends says, why have you written the Ballad of George Floyd, which will be on my next record? And then I have my liberal friends, why would you go play for them? You know, well, because I like Western guns, you know, but I didn't think about it that way. Then I said, no, I can't do this. And I think that I heard, again, now I'm listening and hearing things, that there are people objecting to background checks. Well, that's again, the insanity that I'm talking about. And there are people allowing these assault rifles. That's insanity. That is not for hunting or for protecting yourself. But if I may just digress for a moment, the idea of this Second Amendment was really to be able to fight off the army back 200 years ago. 200 years ago, the army had a musket and a saber and a horse, and the average guy had a musket and a saber and a horse. Now there are elements in this particular area who want to have everything the army has. You know, surface-to-air missiles, you know, bazookas. So we've reached a point where, again, you're in the area of madness. And I would ban assault rifles, and I would absolutely insist on background checks. So you got to start somewhere, you know.
Right. You had a great quote, Don, which I wanted to replay to you. You said there was very little left on your bucket list. I've seen everything, I've been everywhere, I've done it all. I love that.
Well, it's the truth. And one thing I'll say is that, you know, I've done things right and I've done things wrong, but it's all down on me. I don't blame anybody else. We all make mistakes in life, but I don't say I've done it all. Either I did it, if I did it right, it's because I did it right. If I did it wrong, it's because I did it wrong. And one thing I would say is that I like to know things, you know, and I like to learn about things. And one thing I want to tell you is I followed your career, and I loved your TV show when you took over for Larry King.
Oh, thank you.
I loved your TV show. I still remember many interviews that you did. You were a very, very good interviewer, and I always made a point of watching it. And I still know about all the trouble you cause on morning television with your wonderful opinions, which I most of the time agree with completely.
So that makes me very happy, Don. This man who wrote this, one of these anthems of my life, says that. Makes me happy. Thank you.
Thank you.
I just wanted to play you a message, actually, because you've become extra famous in the UK because our champion world heavyweight boxing hero, Tyson Fury, loves to sing American Pie when he wins. And we have a message for you from the great man.
Hey, Tyson Fury here. This is a special message to Don McLean. I hear you on the Piers Morgan show tonight, Don. Absolutely smash it, brother. I loved our rendition of American Pie. It was absolutely fantastic. Hi, Piers. Hope you're having a good time, guys. Don't do anything I wouldn't. And smash it. Good luck, guys. All the best. God bless you.
How cool is that?
Well, you know, I was going to tell Tyson, I'd love to meet him someday. I love him. He is what boxing has needed. He is a lovable champion, and he's a great champion. And I wanted to tell him that whenever I get in trouble now, I'm going to say that I have him as my best friend, and I'm going to warn anybody who's trying to mess with me that I have him on speed dial. You know what I mean? And I wanted to say back to him that if he has any trouble from like Paul Simon or someone like that, that I'll handle that. I can take Paul Simon. So.
Yeah, final question for you, Don. If you could look back over your entire life and career, if I had the power to let you relive one moment again, what would you choose?
Oh, my word. That's a hard question. I've had so many I've lived such a wonderful life with people, you know, applauding me and so much stuff that I've done. I think I wish that I could have known my father better.
Right.
Yeah, it's taken a moment to know him, but he was Scottish, and he was 56 when he died, and he was pretty burned out anyway. But I'm sorry about that. I would like to have known him better.
It was an interesting time in your life because I think you were 15, weren't you, when he died? And he never really supported you in your dream of becoming an entertainer.
Well, I knew he was going to die. I kept telling everybody in the family. I said, I think he's going to die. And my grandmother would say, what are you talking about? I said, well, I can see it. They couldn't see it. And he did. He right in front of me. It happened. I have this ability sometimes to know what is going to happen before it does. And it's served me very well, keeping me out of trouble. And also I've always known a lot of times what was coming around the corner. Not every time, but I would have a nagging feeling about something, and it takes over. And it's the same antenna, I think, that sends the songs to me. I'm really not terribly smart, or I don't read music, I don't write music, but I have these visions sometimes. I can see the song, and then I write what I see. And the words come to me because only certain words will do. I love the English language. That's another reason why I love the British. I love the attention to detail, and I love the civility for the most part, and the English language, and it's so important to me.
And Don, what do you think your father would have made of your incredible success?
I think he would have died again. I mean, I think he would have just rolled over dead. I mean, I don't think he'd ever believe it. He thought I was destined to be lost, really.
You've had an amazing career, Don, and I'm sad that your father didn't get to see what you made with it, because, it would have been a wonderful thing, I think, for him to realise that you were right to have that dream, because the dream came true, and you've lived an amazing life, and it's a real pleasure to talk to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.